Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here. Today, we're going to be looking at a game I played, but we're going to be doing a guide on Silencer. We're going to be looking at rank 57 that is in the world, technically Europe, which is basically the world of Dota. And it's Zakoda, who is the Pos 5 player for Gaming Gladiators at this current point in time. So yeah, let's talk about Silencer. It's one of the most meta subs of the patch. Very strong hero. I had it in the S tier of my supports. And yeah, just kind of want to break down what you should be looking for, timings, laning, mid-game items, so on and so forth. So let's break it down. Gonna be doing this pretty damn quick, speed style, and let's get into it.
On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there.
So starting items, pretty standard here. 3 branches, circlet, blood grenade, tangos, 2 sentries. He bought a smoke and used it pre-game. This is very common for Pos 5s at the highest level. His first item is going to be a set of tangos. I also like, with the tangos, shipping out sometimes a clarity. I do find that it is useful to have one on this hero most games. He checks for the pre-block on the small camp. It's also very hard for Pos 4s to come over and kill this sentry in particular on Dire. So, yeah. Now, next thing, he skills his W. If the lane is remotely easy, like even or easy, you should have your W. Silencer's W is a very broken ability if you cannot kill him. So I just want you guys to understand this. If you are laning against like Muerta Centaur, it's a little scary to skill your W. You probably still should, but you might die, right? You probably still should, you just have to play defensive. If you're laning against Marcy Tusk, you might not want to skill your W. You could and try to go ham at level 1 because they're both melee heroes and they won't probably kill you at level 1, but you might die, and at level 2 you definitely will die if you try to hit people. So sometimes in those lanes it's better to have QE. Basically, if they have kill threat, you might want to skill QE. In my opinion, if they don't, you should skill your W and look to trade. What is so good about the W? Why would you want to take this ability? The main reason is that it does not pull aggro. So if you are near creeps, you will not pull creep aggro if you throw Glaives. This is really, really important, right? It just makes it where basically the mechanic in Dota that would stop you from running through the creep wave and hitting people like this is not in the game, right? The only reason this creep hits him here is because it was just looking for someone to re-aggro to. It was just like another random Dota mechanic that would cause that to happen. But yeah, you can see you can play in the wave. This is something that most subs can't even dream about. And that's why Silencers, you can literally trade if it's against a melee offlaner, and you can trade like down in a line. And because the enemy Pos 4 can't really trade into you, they can't really chase in and stop you because they're going to pull aggro. Right, so that's an option. That's a cool little thing you can do. Here, the techies wasn't in lane, so he's playing like a Giga Psycho. This is not how you play average Silencer. You don't just run this far. You will generally die or take too much damage. But he's going to back off as the techies TVs back in. A couple of double denies as we cook him up here. And at this point, kind of just, playing back, sneaking in as many autos as possible. And once you get a couple of hits in, the W starts to go nuts. Because every time you hit a W, you get +1 damage, right? That is how stealing int works on an intelligence hero, right? And yeah, just trading with the techies. And this lane is kind of just cooked at this point because the Centaur got thrown to the Wolves wave 1, so we get kind of a CS advantage. And you can see just being very aggressive, and that is why you buy stats. I also, some lanes like being really cheesy and buying like a late Fairy Fire and really trying to just play to the death. You can see for his items, a little bit different. Again, I would like to see a singular clarity. I think in many cases it is worth it, but he's got 4 tangos salve. Looking to trade pretty aggressively here. Again, if you build a lane lead on this hero, you just play like a psycho. He's a little bit afraid of getting all in, but honestly, I think even if he got all in, he'd probably be okay. As checking the small, unfortunately, man, this small camp is really annoying. It's just if they buy a coiling blade, they can just sentry there. It's so annoying. But okay, continue to trade with the W, getting really aggressive. Actually, this was a cute little Q on the Centaur. Is he just a goat? Did he know the Centaur would try to approach him here? I think the answer has to be yes. Yeah, wow. And the slow from the Q stops the Centaur from cleanly closing the gap, and it allows us to get, again, a really nice trade. And you're just trying to poke them out. You don't need to kill them instantly. You're just trying to poke them out and win the CS battle, which you'll see he's got 2. So yeah, that's 2. I mean, Silencer is the best laner in the game if he cannot be killed. Like, if you cannot drag the creep wave or directly threaten him, it is the best laner in the game. As we'll find a kill here. Just a couple of hits from the W. Once he gets low enough, blood grenade into the Q will finish the job. And that is it. Lotus up. Probably going to look to pull here. You open the pull camp. You do want to half pull, guys, just in general for all you pause 5 players. Half pulling 9 out of 10 times is better. Just keep that in mind. Wards the gate, just trying to see if the Techies is going to rotate or if the Ringmaster is going to rotate, which I think is a really nice idea in this game because he has a carry Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet is a very gankable hero, dies very, very easily. So it's good to like protect the best angle, which is the gate. And at this point, the Techies leaves, and so his best play really is just to continue to destroy the Centaur, right? Just by kind of existing, the Centaur will never get any last hits, as you can see, again, just kind of playing in the creep wave. And that's just a luxury you have on this hero, as I guess he's thinking about TVing bot. And I'm a little surprised he doesn't buy a singular Clarity. I don't think, like, it's good to spam them. You really want to get boots on this hero. But, okay, his mindset is get boots ASAP. And some players think like this, you know, there's, like, different schools of thought, right? He's clearly the type of player that really plays, well, I mean, I'm assuming from one replay, but probably is the case that he's trying to get his boots ASAP to roam. And let's see what he does with these boots. So, sees that mid is going well. The big thing here, he's actually clicking on them, but I believe you can't see it. He sees that the DK XP is just about 6. He knows that the guy is probably winning mid because he's nearly level 6 at 530. And so he walks mid, pops the Lotus, backpacks all stats, pops the Lotus to make sure he has mana. Sentry here. The reason why he places Sentry when you're ganking like this is to see if they see you, right? And they end up seeing him, but he gets a D ward, which is obviously nice. Acts like he's walking away, but in reality, he just is going to check the rune and, oh, no, it's just a kill. Nice little power shot on the DK stun. Shield rune available. And I like what he does here. So he's going to sit in the tree line. This is something, I've watched a bunch of this guy's games. He likes to do this when he's pressuring mid, is to scout the TPs. Kind of show what the enemy team is trying to do. It's hard for them to get in position if you scout that tree line. And look at this angle. This was a cool angle. So I want to show it from Ember's perspective. You'll see that the vision, there's no vision right around this line. I believe it's on both sides if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you can kind of like also get around this tree line and just come from behind. They can't see you. And so the Ember literally just doesn't see him coming. I actually want to, directly show this from Ember's perspective. You can see just kind of, boop, oh, there's a silencer behind you. And this is like elite level gameplay, right? Understanding Ember's not level 6. We killed him before he's level 6. We can kill him on the TP back in. Now Ember is giga tilted. And he's going to put some pressure on the Wisdom Rune area. Actually forces a go. And this go in particular, actually, he pings for me to contest the Wisdom. I was pretty slow on this play, but yeah, it ends up kind of setting up for this movement. Got the Techies a little low, so I was able to finish him off, steal the Wisdom. And now, I mean, this game was like near cooked at this point. Honestly, these sequences, and this is why this guy is rank 57 as this up. It's like, why is he high Mamaris this up? Dominates his lane, and then finds the opening on mid. It's not that you go mid every game. To be fair, Silencer is one of the best heroes in the game at going mid because you just have very useful spells in your Q and your E. There's high range, high damage, high utility. So it makes sense in most of these games to go mid. But in general, it's just about finding the place to be. In some games, the best place to be still will just be your lane. But he knows this game, it's to sit mid, right? His DK is doing super well. And on top of that, if you sit mid with the DK, you can allow the DK to take the tower. As trying to scout out a little bit of a go, or a potential go on the Techies. They find the Ember, chatting up. Probably going to trade his life if Techies is here. Gets slowed by... What did he even get slowed by? Gets slowed, and whatever. They're going to feed some kills away, but... Oh no. They're going to feed some kills away, but... I mean, these rotations are not good for the enemy team. It's good that they get the return kill, but mid tower is dead, right? And bot tower is going to take some damage. It's also just space for an Earthshaker who was having a tough game, right? Earthshaker, not a good laner. It's definitely a terrible hero against Morphling as the levels progress. So these types of movements are just huge, right? At just kind of opening up the map. Now let's see what he does next. Queuing up the mana boots. Scale build, you always go 3 points like this. Getting some XP. He's got his global now. So the thing about Silencers, you kind of have to go mana boots so that you can have mana. The problem with Global Silence is that it's 300 mana, which, again, I can't believe this guy never buys a Clarity. I mean, he's just I don't know. He's a different breed, I guess. I mean, he's died twice, which has kind of been his way of refreshing his mana, unironically. Finds the Ember. Q. Looks like he was trying to... I mean, execution here was a little weird. The Ember just didn't have a Remnant, which is actually insane at this level. But easy kill. I stole it with my ult. Easy. Got the mana boots. Now he'll queue up a Clarity because you're full HP. It's going to the mid-game. Spark of Courage. Damn. I mean, 10 damage is okay. I guess it's probably more about the 5 armor when getting low. Because, yeah, I don't know. It must be more about the 5 armor against something like Ember, but just playing the hill. Look at this angle. Woo! That's a good angle. That is a good angle. The 10 damage from the Spark of Courage, cooking it up. So yeah, buying a Clarity. Dust. Why did he buy a Dust? Just in case? Why did he buy a Dust? He's going to come bottom here. He's got his Mana Boots. Finish off the tier 1 tower. He's got a smoke in his inventory. At this point, you probably want to buy a ward. I think Blood Grenade is really important on this hero. It just kind of like, it just synergizes really well with your long range slows at poking and just kind of keeping people in place. Comes mid here. I don't know the exact reason why. I guess just defend the tower to get your XP up. I don't think it's anything too special. Queues up the Pavis and a Raindrops, which I love these types of builds. And personally, I love buying like Raindrops, double Blood Grenade, and just having a high HP pool, right? Just really playing to get your health up and making sure that you can skirmish constantly is really, really nice. Oh, I love this as well. Just kind of blocking these camps. I honestly think blocking camps is part of the future of Dota. I think Dota, if it doesn't change, I think there's going to be a large portion of gameplay is just going to be like mobility heroes walking around blocking camps, like subs like Weaver and shit like that, Ricky's and stuff, just running around blocking camps. To me, it's just giga high impact. Because the thing is like, even if the enemy wants to unblock it, they have to use the same amount of gold to unblock it as it costs to block it. And it's not like the sentry is going to get a D-ward, you know what I mean? So to me, it just makes sense as makes a move top. I mean, at this point, the main thing you want to do to play tempo is not to dive towers. These are the moves you make when you are ahead. It is not forward, it's to the sides. Some games you can dive mid. I will admit, I think going mid here would probably net them an Ember kill. They can just global and kill him. So Silencer is one of the better heroes at diving towers because you can make it a bit safer with global. But in general, kind of just making these moves to the side lanes is a much safer way to secure clean kills. As they go on to the Centaur, no kill to be had on the Ember. They'll just take the free kill, and that's going to transition into a tier 1 top, and the map is starting to really close in as they can kill off some Ancients. Again, walking back mid seems like he doesn't mind showing, even running through the creep wave. If you're thinking about connecting to techies, this is because the game is going well, right? You can just run through a creep wave in your average game alone as a sup, but partially, here's what I'll say as well about Silencer. This hero generally doesn't mind getting gone on, and the reason why is once you've gotten off your first round of spells, generally that's good enough. If you get off your spells and the enemy goes on you and you get off literally everything, there's a good chance it'll just be a good fight. It's the global. I think the reason he's globaling here is to stop the escape act. It's not skilled. Okay. I mean, to be fair, it's not that good against Silencer. So, I mean, it's pretty reasonable. Oh my god, that didn't hit him. What in the world? Okay, at this point, he is playing a safer fight. It's not like you want to commit suicide. Oh, okay. Oh, the Arcane Curse almost hit on 3 there. Hit on 2. Let's look at some good damage. Chatting up. This is why you buy the Raindrops, just so you can really get in there, be a little bit tankier. Chops him down, and oh, the Spark of Courage, the armor. I don't think it really mattered there, but sure. Going for the Pavis. Maxing nukes, skipping the 10 talent. Pretty standard. It's just nice to lower the cooldown of last word rather than the 10 talents. The Arcane Curse multiplier penalty is like fine, but what in the world? How much damage did he just do to this? Oh, it was NP ult. I was gonna say like something was off. Damn. I mean, to be fair, when you're level 10 at minute 14, your game, I mean, you're gonna kill people pretty fast. This unfortunately gets found out. A bit of an overextension here. Bit of an overextension. Gives up the Force Staff next, can buy the Fluffy Hat and replace his Circlet. Or he can hold on to the Circlet, which is probably not worth. Ward in the lane here. Could be a kill on the Morphling. I doubt, based on how bad the game is, Morphling has Manta at minute 15, so he could definitely try to set up a kill, but fortunately the boys are not in the area. Looking to poke a little bit. Probably not too much. Oh, good bait from the Ringmaster. As they're going to smoke, run up the hill. So the only time I like these hill wards is if you're planning on invading the area hardcore, which is what he is doing here. Right. Not actually opting to global there, which was a little surprising because the box from the Ringmaster maybe could have came out. But looks like he just thinks he didn't need it. Yeah, he's going to global up the Morphling here. This was a nice play. Kind of dropping the combo. And here's a big thing as well, guys. So global lasts 4.5 seconds. So there's a lot of small things to understand about Silencer, which I want to highlight now. Because there's actually a lot of niche things about the spell casting And if you don't understand them, you'll actually lose out on this hero. So here's the first thing. When you cast E on someone, last word, it does two things. Number one, it does damage when it hits. It silences when it hits. It's dispellable. And most importantly, in my opinion, it silences for 6 seconds afterwards. So it's a really good silence. But the big thing is that the cast timer is 4 seconds. So when you click it on someone, after 4 seconds, it will deal damage in silence. So what can you do to make sure that this happens? Global. Global is 4.5 seconds. So if you click E on someone and then global them, it will chain silence them for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. So in this clip here, when he sees Morphling, if he clicks E and then ult, it is a 10-second silence guaranteed. Not kidding. That is just what it is. You'll see this. He is silenced. The global will end. And then the E hits. And now even though the second tick of global is over, he is still silenced for that 6 seconds. Yeah. Okay, another thing to keep in mind, this is important as well. Arcane Curse. Let's go over this ability real quick. Arcane Curse, the main thing to understand is that it pauses if they are silenced. So if you click Q on someone, it lasts for 6 seconds. If you silence them, it will pause, right? So anytime an enemy casts a spell, the duration is increased, so the enemy can increase it on themselves, and it gets paused if they are silenced. So basically, when you click Q on someone, it slows them, does damage over time, and then if you global, it will actually pause the Q and make it last long, right? And another thing to keep in mind, in the laning stage, it is a 6 second duration, so if you click QE, the E will silence after the Q, and it will make the Q last 3 seconds longer, right? Because it is a 3 second silence duration, which pauses the Q and makes it continue to tick. Right, so that's what's really cute about these abilities. Like if Q is on someone, let's say you're across the map from someone, let's say you put your Q on someone and they TP out, and you see that they're really low HP and they're across the map and the Q is about to end, you can global to make the Q last longer and kill them, globally, right? So there's some cute little interactions with this hero. That's why also like Orchid is a funny item. Because it can make the Q last longer. It's not good. I'm not telling you to buy Orchid. I just want you to understand the ideas of this hero. So yeah, it buys the Solar. The pretty standard build on this hero is like utility item, which tends to be Solar, just because it's just kind of the best item, sub item. Solar, and then if you still need a defensive item to protect yourself, because usually Solar is for your teammates, and then you buy like Force or Glimmer to keep yourself alive, and then you buy a Refresher. This is the build that I think is best in 9 out of 10 games. But yeah, that's going to be about all for today's video at this point. I mean, we take some fights. It's basically like when you don't have global, you kind of just click QE and then kite. You can use your W if someone like jumps the backline, but you should never run forward to click your W, right? Your Glaives. It's kind of just like if someone overextends, you get to attack, but it's never the priority. By the way, at level 11, skills up the Arcane Curse multiplier at 12 global. And from there on out, I think you can take stats over your W. The W scales extremely well, just mainly for the insteal. And like against something like Centaur, hitting him once with a max W is really annoying for his mana pool. And so it can be okay to max the W. He is actually opting to do that. And to be fair, you're pretty damn tanky, so you'll probably get the hit in most fights. I mean, look at this. He's got an Essence Ring. He's got Brawny. I mean, he's playing to exist in the fight. And if you exist, even with low attack speed, with max Glaives, you'll be really annoying to frontliner mana pools. Like something like Ember, if you're hitting that guy constantly in a team fight, I mean, he's kind of cooked. You know what I mean? He's kind of cooked. This. Oh, getting jumped here, but look how tanky he is. Triple mine? No problem. Oh! Is he dead? It took them triple mine, Wheel of Wonder, Stampede to kill the Silencer. But they eventually get the job done. And let's quickly talk about the final talents on this hero. At 15, you take Global Silence cooldown. I will admit, I think the Arcane Curse penalty is really good. Actually, it's just the problem is people tend to have dispels at this point in the game. At level 20, the AoE last word, unless you are transitioning the right click somehow, you go AoE last word. And at 25, Arcane Curse charges is quite nice. For sure. Glaives of Wisdom damage at 25 is one of the worst talents in the game. It is complete and utter. Boop. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out. We thrown them in like a minute. Does the throne explode? It literally was less than a minute.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below. and I'm out. Peace.